Hey there and welcome. Today we're going to be talking about the functional trainer single arm Y raise. This is an incredible exercise for your rear delt as well as your rhomboids. This is an incredible exercise for those who are looking to also improve their posture. So the first thing that you want to do is make sure you set up your cable to, I would say, around hip height or a little bit lower than hip height actually. And then you want to make sure that you keep your rotational arm at around a 1. You just basically want to make sure that you're coming upward with the resistance. And then you want to make sure that obviously you choose the appropriate weight. Make sure you can do 20 repetitions comfortably and then slowly start to increase the weight over every other week or every month or so. Once you do that, you want to take a nice step away from the connection or where the arm is coming out of the cable, and then you want to make sure that you're taking a nice little step backwards. You actually don't want to step forward with this variation, because then if you do, the cable's going to basically glide across your chest way too much. But before we continue, here's a word from today's video sponsor.
I'm today's video sponsor, and if you'd like help losing fat or gaining muscle, there are a few ways I can help you down below. Either set up a free consultation with us, purchase through one of our free affiliate links, or purchase one of our instant access affordable training programs. Can't wait to be of service to you. Now let's get back to the rest of the video.
The main thing you want to do is when you're focusing on doing this exercise is that you do it through a natural full range of motion. So you actually want to be reaching for the opposite side of the hip, and then you want to make sure that you're bringing it across your body in an upward fashion. So like I said, you don't want to be taking too big of a step forward, because you can imagine if I take too big of a step forward, then this cable is basically going to be gliding across my entire torso the whole time. So you don't want to do that. So take a little step back. I would even take a little further step back than what I have here. But, it doesn't really matter. If it's slightly touching you, it's not a big deal. The idea is to just not have it touch you. But nonetheless, you want to make sure you're doing this correctly. So just make sure you go from the hip and you go out above the head. And as you're doing it, make sure you do it in a slow and controlled fashion. Notice I'm not using a bunch of momentum. I'm not rotating my torso a bunch. And the reason is because you want to make sure that you're keeping as much tension on the muscle as possible that you're trying to work. You're trying to work your rear delts and your back muscles. So if you start using your core, you start using your legs, you start going up, you start going down, then what's going to end up happening is you're taking all the tension that would have been placed on your rear delts and back, and you're placing it on areas that have nothing to do with the areas you're trying to work. So lower the weight, make sure you can do 20 repetitions like I said at the beginning of this video, and make sure you can do that for I would say 2 weeks, and then start to slowly increase the weight. Don't be in a rush when it comes to building muscle or training any specific muscle group, because if you do, you're going to get injured, usually by increasing the weight excessively. Another thing I want you guys to think about is breathing out when you're going up. So breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, and breathe out. The reason is because you want to make sure that you're releasing that air from your core. That way you can really think about exerting the force outward into the areas you want to train. So like I said, you don't want to be rotating your torso while you do it. If you do that, the cable's going to basically go across your chest. Also, you don't want to excessively bend your elbow, because then you're going to start placing a lot of the tension that would be on your back on your arms. Another common mistake is doing half reps. So don't do half reps, guys. That doesn't help anybody. Do full repetitions all the way up, all the way down in a slow and controlled fashion. And also don't do half reps at the top, obviously. And the last thing I want you guys to avoid is making sure that your head is not up. You want to keep your chin tucked.